Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. I'm looking at an older Apple Time Capsule today, which turns on for a short amount of time and then turns off again. And holy crap, the brightness is high right now. Let me turn that down. There we go, I think you can see what's going on now. So what happens is you put some power on this, the light comes on orange and it stays on for about a minute or so and then it goes out. There's no sound, there's no noise from the hard drive spinning up or anything like that. It just comes on for a bit and then it goes off. Now this is almost certainly a failed power supply inside the Time Capsule. So we're going to open this up and do a visual inspection and see what we can do about that. I haven't done this repair before, so I don't know whether this power supply is fixable or whether I can find a replacement for it. We'll find out. To get into it, I think I just have to... Yeah, that's right, I've just got to peel off this bottom. So I'm just going in with the prying tools and just pulling back against the glue. Oops, starting to tear a bit there. There's going to be some damage to the rubber taking this off, which is a bit unavoidable unfortunately, but I'm going to try and minimize the damage. Really what I need here is a palette knife, but I don't have one. Whew. There we go, that's not too bad. Just a slight rip there, but whatever. It's the bottom, no one notices, no one cares. Okay, right, now we've got to take these screws out and we'll be able to lift this plate off. Okay, right. So unplug that cooling fan. Not a lot of good this poor thing can do. It's got no air in there to blow around really. Okay, so as you can see we've got a 3.5-inch hard drive here. Then that's going to be our power supply because the power input goes to there. And then we've got the main circuit board at the bottom. So I'm just going to screw that hard drive screw back in because that didn't need to come out. And let's take this power supply out so we can get a closer look at that and see what state it's in. How is this secured? It doesn't look like it is. Where's this going? Let's lift the hard drive out. Okay, put this to one side. We'll probably put the hard drive on test while we've got this in pieces just to see if that's okay, because if the hard drive is goosed as well then this thing is almost certainly going to be a write-off. Right, I'm just trying to see if there's a way of opening up this plastic without destroying it. Fine. Ew. Thermal paste. God, that's a good quality piece of electronics, isn't it? Ow. This bastard's still live. Oof. Gave me a nice little shock, those bastards did. That's what you get when you start taking power supplies apart, kids. Okay, so I've had a look around online at replacement costs for these fellas, and you can get them on eBay for about 14, 15 quid. So a replacement power supply for this thing is not going to be hugely expensive. However, just as an interest thing, I'm going to try replacing the caps on these and just see if we have any luck with that and see if we can refurb this fella. Now, because the new one is not that expensive, realistically, I would advise that you guys just buy a replacement power board. But you know, I've been looking for excuses to do component repairs, and the customer is not in a hurry for this one. So I want to test these 3 caps, this fella, and this fella. I'm not going to bother testing the big boys because A, I think we've already established that they seem to be working just fine, and B, based on my research, they don't seem to be among the primary suspects of the commonly failing caps. So let me grab my multimeter. Now, the way we test a capacitor is we do a resistance test. We do a very high resistance test, which will cause the multimeter to start putting current into the capacitor. And as the capacitor charges, the resistance will begin to rise as the capacitor fills. So what we're doing is we're going to put power onto that capacitor, and if the capacitor is charging, then we will expect to see the resistance start increasing as it builds up. Now the difficulty is I've just got to figure out where the ends of them are. So let's start with this end one. The negative pin's on the right, and that is these 2 fellas here. So let me swap my pins. And we're going to go positive and negative. There we go. So you see that resistance rising? That's the capacitor charging up. Right, these next 2 are there. That one and that one. And the negatives are on the left-hand side for these. Hold on a minute. Yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah, there we go, that fella's charging up. Not very much though. It's on auto and ohms. Let me just adjust my range a sec. Let's go to mega ohms. One more time. There we go, that fella's not charging. I think we've got our culprit. Let's move on to the next one. So that was one, that was another, and the next one is there and there. I'm going to check my polarity again. Yep, negative on the left. And that fella's not charging either. I think we've got our culprits. So let's check the other capacitors just for good measure. So we've got one in the top corner there. That's negative top. You don't look like you're charging either. So it looks like that one's gone. What about that one? Negative left. You are also not charging. Good grief. Okay, what about that fella there? You're kind of awkward to get to. You're negative top. There we go, you're charging. Okay, so what we've learned is that that fella, and that fella all seem to be dead. And I think this one was as well. That was negative left, and I don't think that one was responding either. So yeah, all our caps seem to be pretty goosed. So I'm going to order some replacement caps for this. We're going to try replace. What I'll do is I'm going to just replace all of them for good measure. So these 3 and these 3. We'll change all of those out just for good measure, and we'll see if that brings this board back to life. Right, I'll see you guys after the cut. Okay, right, I've got some new caps in for this thing now. So we're going to be replacing all the ones that have failed. So we've got a pair of 1500 microfarad 6.3 volters for these 2 fellas. We've got a 470 16 volt for this fella, which is that fella. And then I've got a 470 6.3 volt for that fella there. And so those are all our dead ones. This one and this one were okay, so we're not going to do anything with those. Right, so first I've got to remove these old ones, which would normally be very easy for a capacitor, but everything is glued in with this horrible grey tar rubbery stuff. So I'm expecting to have problems with this. Normally I just get the heat gun out and I would just heat hot air station all of these out. But this stuff is probably going to kill me if I heat it up to melting temperature. So I don't really want to use the hot air gun here, and if I can help it. The other alternative is just to shamelessly melt all of that off and just open the window, but we'll find out. Anyway, let me just see if I can pry these up. Whoop. Oop, there we go. Okay, those are ready to come out. Right, my soldering iron is up to temperature. Just retin the tip. And we should be able to have those two off. Right, and I'm just going to count my pins in to make sure I'm in the right place. There's one. Right, okay, let's have the other one out. So we're moving along to, oh crikey, we've got a lovely huge solder blob here, so melt that down. And let's just melt the other one out the way. Oh, there we go. That's the next one out. Right, let's dig all of this crud out. Okay, that's nice and wobbly. I think that's going to come out as soon as the heat's on the back of it now. There we go. Right, now for this fella. Now this one I've got less access to, but it's not glued in or anything, so this should come out pretty easily. There we go. This is working, I think. There we go, that's that fella out. Alright, that's our caps out. Right, let's clean up the area that we removed those from. One, two, three, and just this one to go. I'm just going to reflow that area because I took a lot of solder out there and I don't want it to be too dry. Yeah, that's happy. We'll add some more once the other cap is in there. Right, time for some caps. Alright, so negative to negative. I'm going to put this soldered bridge back in because I don't know if it was there deliberately or not. There we go. Now I'm just going to touch those up and hold the caps in place. So now when I turn it over, those caps are sitting where they should be. Alright, next one. Alright, that's the 470 16 volt. Negative to negative. Nice and easy this one, that just sits flat. I'm just adding in a little bit of flux on each joint just to make the solder sit nicely. It's not critical this, it just makes it easier. There we go. And now the 470 6.3 volt cap. GG. Okay, let's cut those legs off and we'll just tidy it up a bit. Oh, these cutters are awful. I need new ones. Right. Now there's no need to. Those joints all look good. That one I'm just going to reflow. Yeah, those all look good. They've got a good connection. I'm happy with that. Now just a bit of glass cleaner to clean up the flux. And there we go. There's our Refurb power supply. Those ones have got some movement on where they're not glued down, but they're not going to go anywhere. I think we're ready to plug this thing in and see if it works again. Okay, right, let's get our power supply refitted. So the hard drive did go on test and it came back fine, so the hard drive is passed, which is good, because if the hard drive needed to be replaced as well, then I'd probably just tell him to buy a new one, to be honest. But that fellow was absolutely fine. Okay, yeah, that goes on that screw hole. Right, that will do. It would be nice to have it all on show, so if it does explode in a cloud of smoke, we get to see all the gory details. But yeah, we're going to run it in a contained environment. Right, where's my power cable? I'm not hearing the hard drive spin up, but I think it doesn't do that until midway through the startup. I think that light should be flashing though. Ooh, the orange light is flashing. And the hard drive is spinning. Right. We're not going to get a green light out of that because it's got no internet connection. However, it started, the hard drive is spinning, the power supply is working. I'm going to turn that off and put the rest of the screws back in. Right. Now to put the rubber back on, we need to apply some new adhesive. What I will probably do, I would probably use just liquid super glue, because if I would just lace that across in a wavy line, that should stick it down quite well. I'm not going to put it on for now though, because I want to wait and see if this thing works or not. I'm going to leave this thing turned on for 24 hours, just make sure that repair holds up and stuff. So we'll just lay that across. It's not critical we glue it on at all, because where it's sitting on that mat, it's not going anywhere. But yeah, let me see. Let's just see if we can get a green light out of it for you guys. And I think we will if we give it a network connection. So power, network to WAN port, I think. Okay, right, well, we've got no green light. However, it's throwing out its Wi-Fi network, so that's good enough for me. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.